We're past Labor Day in the North Georgia area. The fall housing season has begun. Typically, fall season a lot slower than it is in the spring. But can you sell your house in the fall and actually do a good job of getting your house sold and getting it sold for a pretty decent amount? I say yes. Is it a better season than spring? It kind of depends. Each season has its strengths, but people don't sleep on fall. It's a good time to get your house sold. So today what we're going to do is we're going to break down 3 reasons why fall is actually a really, really good time to get your house sold. Still get a really good deal on the house. And we're going to talk about one of the big pushbacks we always get. Okay, that's the last thing we're talking about. Some of the big pushbacks we always get about selling your house in the fall and why you should wait till the spring. It's something I kind of sort of agree with, but there's an asterisk on it. Okay, we'll talk more about that in a minute. First, let's kick it off. 3 reasons why. If you're thinking, should I wait till spring or should I sell my house in the fall? 3 reasons why this fall is a great time to sell your house. And here we go. The first reason why fall is a great time to sell your house is there is a lack of competition from other sellers. Because a lot of sellers are thinking to themselves, let's wait till spring. Okay? So if you're selling your house, okay, you have a commodity that you're selling, and there's less of that commodity on the market. Does that make your commodity a little bit more, expensive, or does it make it more valuable, let's say, than if there's a whole bunch of that on the market? You've got a better chance of getting a number close to your asking price if you're one of the only ball games in town. So the lack of inventory that we see in the fall may actually play in your favor. So just keep that in mind. As you're looking to sell your house, look around. How many other houses are on the market? Now, at this time, we're recording this in the fall of 2023. We naturally have a very low inventory in the Atlanta area. But right now what we're seeing, because the interest rates are so high, a lot of folks are not selling their house because the interest rates are high. They have nowhere to go, and if they had somewhere to go, they don't want to pay that interest rate. Now, a lot of people are selling their house because they have a place to move to, they need to downsize, they need to do something, or they want to take advantage of the market. Because of that, we have a naturally lower number of homes on the market. Let's take advantage of it, okay? One of the things that we'll see in the spring is, let's say there's 4 houses in your neighborhood that are on the market at the same time. The person who's listed near the bottom price-wise, and price per square foot-wise, and whatever, they're going to have an easier time selling their house than the person right at the very top, unless the person right at the very top deserves that number. You know what I mean? So sometimes the competition can help to pull the prices down a little bit. Lack of competition, you get to kind of set the price. You don't want to be crazy. You still have to get through an appraisal, but the fact that there's nobody else to compete with. And sometimes we'll look at not only in the neighborhood, but what's going on within a half mile, within a mile, within that school system, things like that. And we'll find out, we're one of the only really good values at that price. Okay? Fall. Again, you don't have as much, competition going on, and that's a good thing. It's going to help you get a really good price for your house. So there you go. Less competition. It's good for you. Number 2. Buyers are a little bit more serious in the fall, and that's a good thing, okay? In the spring, you get a lot of buyers come out. A lot of buyers come out when the flowers are blooming and everybody's got spring fever and everybody's tired of being winter and everybody comes out, oh, it's so nice. Let's go look at houses because we might want to move this summer because we want to move school systems, and everybody starts looking and they go to open houses and they start thinking about it, whatever. Then when the time comes to actually say, all right, you love this house. This is the house that you want. What do you think? They turn around and they say, we changed our mind. I've had that happen. I've had that happen this year where buyers, they've been looking and looking and looking. They find the right house and they say, we really don't want the house now because something changed or whatever, okay? Springtime buyers are a little bit more emotional. In the fall, these are business buyers, okay? Yes, there's fewer of them, but they are much more in need of a house, or they're much more business-like. They're coming to look at houses because they want to buy a house. Okay, they're not tire kickers. They're ready to rock and roll. So that being said, when you get your house out there, if it is priced right, if it looks the part, the people coming in there, that's what they're looking for. Okay, so you're going to put it in front of more people. You're going to have a much better chance of getting your house sold with more motivated buyers. So that's number 2. In the fall, the buyers, and they want that house. They're not kicking tires. They're looking for a house. So the third reason why fall is a great time to sell, man, closings are a lot easier. I'll tell you what I mean. there are fewer things going on in the fall. Okay, there's fewer buyers, there's fewer sellers, there's fewer transactions. It's quieter. Okay, as far as real estate agents go, in March and April, I'm like, I'm gone for 2 months. We're rock and roll through, like, say, February, March, April. We're pretty rock and roll into May. Okay, get into fall, you have a little bit more bandwidth. We're not rocking and rolling quite as much as far as being out showing houses till super late, listing homes till super late, stuff like that. We have a little bit more bandwidth. So if there's a big something catch on fire that needs to be taken care of, figuratively, not literally, we have a little bit more bandwidth to handle it. Same thing with our lenders. Lenders are rocking and rolling in spring. They got a lot of loans going on. You get into fall, fewer loans. That loan officer is going to be sure you are taken care of. I've had a couple when these last couple months that when we were selling it, the loan officer on the other side said, "This is like one of the only ones we've got to worry about. So I promise you, we will get to closing." Okay, and they babysit it like crazy. Okay, same thing with closing attorneys. Things happen with closing attorneys. They got to pull title. They've got to do all kinds of logistics as far as putting the contracts together, being sure everything is officially and legally done correctly to transfer ownership from the buyer to the seller, right? Or seller to buyer, rather. So that being said, the fact that they have fewer closings means they have a little bit more bandwidth to handle that. So all the professionals, inspectors, appraisers, all of that, they just got less to do in the fall than they do in the springtime. What that means is they got a little bit more attention to pay, a little more time to do it in the fall than in the spring. So if you're looking to get the house sold, you got to get all these moving parts to happen to get you to the closing table. That's easier to make happen in the fall. That's a cool thing. So, because it's not just about getting the house under contract, we got to get you to closing. We say that all the time. I mean, anybody can get a house under contract if you price it right and whatever. You need a pro that's going to get you to closing. And sometimes the pro, to get you to closing, they need like an army of people behind them. They need the lender to know what the heck they're doing. They need a closer to know what the heck they're doing. The appraiser to know what the heck they're doing. Like all those people got to know what the heck they're doing and be able to do it. A lot easier in the fall. So, it's quieter. That's good for you. It makes it easier to close in the fall. So last thing we'll talk about, and I get this a lot. People say to me, I'm going to wait till spring to sell because 6 months from now, when we get into spring, my house is going to be worth more, and I want to sell when the house is worth more. And to those people, I say, you are 100% right, especially here in Atlanta. Here in Atlanta, home prices have been steadily climbing. So you're right. In spring, it's going to be higher, the home price, than it is right now. And, with the number of buyers that are going to be there, you might even get multiple offers, 100%. Here's the thing I say about that. Here's the little asterisk I talked about. When you get into spring and you go to sell your house in April and you say, all right, this is the time to sell, I'm going to say, no, just won't throw this out there. If you waited till this upcoming fall, 6 months from now, price will be higher. What? Yeah, price will be higher. Because it's going to be 6 months down the road, prices are going up, prices are going to be higher in spring or in fall than it is right now. And then once we get to fall, I'll say, hey, before we list, I just want to let you know, price is going to be higher 6 months from now when we get into spring. I say that all to say, yes, the prices are going to be higher. Here in Atlanta, with the lack of inventory and with the amount of people that are moving to Atlanta, this is a place to move. Everybody wants to move to Atlanta. Atlanta's awesome, right? So because that Atlanta will always be going up in value, at least for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, in 3 to 5 years, if things change, you have a lot more inventory coming on the market. You have a massive, recession, something terrible, whatever. Things can happen. I understand that. But everything as it's laid out right now, there's no forces in play that are going to lead to home prices dropping in the Atlanta area. Okay, that's the way it looks right now. So for that reason, prices are going to steadily go up. So if you sell right now and you look at your house a year from now, that house that you sold, it's going to be worth more. Okay, I'm sorry. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. The reason you're selling your house is not to get it at the top of the peak. If you're waiting for the top of the peak to sell your house, just sit back and relax. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not today, and it's not a month from now. Sit back and relax. The reality is you're not doing that. You're doing that because you're selling because it makes financial sense, because you're doing something else. Okay? You are going to, downsize. You are going to move to another state. You are going, whatever the reason is, okay? And if you go and buy somewhere else, that piece of property is also going to go up in value, okay? Unless you like move to a place like San Diego or Austin or whatever, where they're seeing home prices go down right now. But they're going to see once it turns, it's going to turn up. I mean, they have wild spikes. We have a nice kind of steady trajectory here in Atlanta, okay? There's always a reason to move, okay? I'm not a big fan of people who are trying to sell their house right now because it's the top of the market and let's go ahead and sell it. Because in a year they're going to be mad at me. And I've had so I had a guy who he sold his house and he called me like a year later and say, Steve, you sold my house for this and now it's worth this much more. Like, what happened? I said, well, first of all, that's what happens. Number two, you bought a house and that went up that far up in value too. So don't be mad at me. That's what happens in real estate. So I say all that to say, yes, if you're waiting to sell until the prices go up, you're going to wait forever because prices are going to keep steadily going up here in the Atlanta area. What I want you to do is, when does it make the most financial sense for me to sell my house? Because I got to make a move. When it makes sense to make the move, to downsize, to upsize, to change locations, to whatever, that's when it's the right time. Okay, and we're going to maximize the market and get as much out of it as we can. But that house is going to go up. Your next house is going to go up too. Okay, so that's my thought. And we get that pushback all the time. I'm going to wait till spring because the prices are going to be higher. It's like, you're right, but you're also a little wrong because prices are always going to be higher 6 months from now than they are right now. So there you go. So that gives you some reasons why fall is a great time to sell your house, okay? Is it a better time than spring? It's just a different time. There's different motivations. There's different number of people on the market, things like that. Spring, great time to sell your house because there's a lot of buyers. There's a lot of volume. There's a lot of things going on. People are, spring's a great time to sell. Early part of summer is a great time to sell. Fall's also a great time to sell for all the things we just talked about. And keep in mind, again, if you're waiting for the prices to go up and sell in spring because they're going up, they're going to be going up the following fall, and then the following spring, and then the following fall. Prices are going to keep going up. Okay. Now, just to prove to you that I'm not just, hey, go sell your house guy, and just telling you every time is a great time to sell your house. There are 2 times where I tell people this is not the time to list your house. Okay. 2 times to not list your house. That first week of July through about mid to late August, right before Labor Day. Okay. That time frame is very quiet. Okay. People are trying to move before school. If they haven't found the house before the beginning part of July, they're going to stay where they are. Or if they've already found the house, they're going to move and make it the closing late July. So that way they're in place by the beginning of August. Because all schools start now basically like August 1st-ish. It's not late August like it used to be. So the summer buying season, try that again, is much shorter than it used to be. Because kids get out like Memorial Day and they're back in basically like right after the 4th of July, it seems like. So the market goes very quiet beginning of July through most of August. Like that week or 2 before Labor Day, things start picking back up a little bit because people get settled in their schools and they start saying, wait a minute, we were looking for a house. Let's do this. Let's go find a house. Okay, so that's when the fall season kind of kicks off. I also tell people, don't list your house in December. Okay. Now, keep in mind, if you have to list your house in those months, list them and we'll help you get them sold. I'm just talking about when you're trying taking advantage of a market and taking advantage of buyers who are motivated and making things happen. Those are 2 times, okay? July and August and December, because obviously there's a lot of Christmas parties, holiday parties. There's a lot of shopping. There's a lot of all kinds of stuff going on, right? You can get it up to about, I'd say, Thanksgiving. Once you get past Thanksgiving, I think you got another week to get houses under contract, and then things are going to go real quiet. Last couple of years, though, they pick right back up after New Year's. Okay, so if you're going to list like right before Christmas, like let's say December 15th to 20th-ish, I would say let's wait. Let's wait until right after New Year's, jump on that Thursday, and take advantage of the market then. Because a lot of people have New Year's resolutions of we want to get that house finally, things like that. That's a good time to jump in, the first or second week of January. And that slowly picks up into the spring season, and then you're off to the races. So if you're looking to sell your house, fall's a great time, spring is a great time. The early summer's a great time, but those are the times where I wouldn't do it. July, August, December. There you go. Just to prove to you, I'm not just, hey, go sell your house guy. Okay. Now, here's the thing I will tell you though. If you're looking to buy a house, guess what 3 months are great months to go buy houses? July, August, and December. Are you kidding me? You go, you go out on December 15th and you can go steal a house. Okay. Not steal a house. Don't do that. That's against the law, and that would be bad. Okay. But you can get a really good deal on a house, but much better deal on a house on December 15th than you will on April 1st. Okay. So those are 3 months. The months where it's very, very quiet, if there's not a whole lot of buyers out there, that's when it's party time for your buyer if you want to go get a deal. Okay? So there you go. If you have any questions about that, because you're thinking about doing it this fall, and you're like, but what would make the most sense for us? I tell people all the time, if you want to list your house right now, I will list your house right now. If you want to list your house in 10 years, I will list your house in 10 years. God willing, we'll still be doing this in 10 years. Okay? To me, it doesn't matter. It matters for you. It's your family. That's our saying. That's our mission here. Your family, their legacy, our passion. Okay? Building the legacy. Whatever we need to do to help them out. Let's get it done. 470-233-4409. That's my number. Email is below. All my contact info is below. All that good stuff. This is Steve. You all take care. Enjoy football. Football's back. It's fall. Let's go sell your house. Talk to you. Bye.